What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Healthier Choices Management, tickers HCMC. The highly anticipated news is finally out, so I want to break it down what it is saying and what it means for investors. So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So it is back to being barcoding between that 0001 and 0002 range, and I'm sure some of you might be wondering why on earth are people buying so much at 0002 today? It is because of the recent news that did come out. So I'm going to share that with you in a second. But since my last HCMC video update, there's been a lot of SEC filings that was submitted. So I just want to briefly touch on that. So you do see a lot of Form 4, so a lot of transactions from insiders, and unfortunately a lot of transactions in regards to selling. But again, it is what it is. I think a lot of these were very pre-arranged ever since February 22nd, 2023. And I do believe it's all because of the spinoff as well. So again, it is what it is. I'm not necessarily too worried or focused on this. One thing I just wanted to share with you though, is a lot of these insiders still do have a pretty significant amount of employee stock options that they have not exercised. So most likely that's going to be completed right before the spinoff. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not financial advisor, so you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But when it comes down to it, big news did come out. So Healthier Choices Management Corp announces the record date to be eligible for dividend of shares in its spinoff of natural food, grocery, and wellness business. So there's been a lot of individuals like myself analyzing the data behind the scenes to see how far along they have been. And in this PR, they do announce saying that it is still planned to be within the Q2 or potentially early Q3 of 2023. So definitely pretty positive thing in that regard. In case you guys have been living underneath a rock, HCMC is going to be doing a spin-off into another company called Healthy Choices Wellness Corp, HCWC. And like I mentioned right here, there is a little bit more of a ratio. So this is why people are tentatively buying, even for instance right now, so much at that 0002 range, because there is a ratio 71,000 to 1. So for every 71,000 of HCMC shares that you have, you are going to get one share of HCWC. So this is why, for instance, if someone has 50,000 shares, just for argument's sake, they're going to be buying just to bump it up to that 71,000, just to get that one share of HCWC. Because in here, it does say that they're not going to be doing any fractional shares. So for instance, if you have 70,000 shares, you are not going to get any shares of HCWC because you are below that threshold of 71,000. So this is why, like I said, a lot of buying is happening today. But luckily enough, based on all of this, it says that you do not physically have to do absolutely anything as far as the whole spinoff. The only thing you physically, I guess, kind of have to be aware of is this date of May the 1st, 2023. That is the ex-dividend date. So you physically have to own HCMC the day prior, so going into May the 1st to get this whole spinoff, to be eligible for that. So for instance, if you buy on May the 1st, you do not participate, unfortunately. And it even says right here, it has to be 3 business days prior to May the 1st. So once again, just be aware that on a side note, on a, I guess, positive side note, it says right here, the HCWC common stock will be distributed to qualifying HCMC shareholders without forfeiting or exchanging any of their existing HCMC common stock. So at the end of this, assuming you guys qualify, then you are going to have 2 tentative stocks, one of which is HCMC, the other one HCWC. Of course, whatever your equivalent 71,000 to 1 ratio is going to be, that's how many shares of HCMC or HCWC you're going to get. So again, pretty happy about this news generally, but like I said, they are still reiterating the New York Stock Exchange, even though I've done quite a few videos saying that they don't necessarily qualify, potentially. And on the side note at the very bottom as well, it says factors that may affect the dividend and spin-off. And they actually do bring up the New York Stock Exchange being one of them, because here it does say that they're going to be applying. So we will apply for listing for HCWC common stock on the New York Stock Exchange. So again, it is what it is. Like I said, this is very much highly anticipated stuff because this initially did come out all the way back on August 22nd, 2022, where they do talk on and unveil their 4-point plan to increase shareholder value as what they say. So in here though, based on the 4 points, it says a buyback of up to $5 million of HCMC stock, spin-off company, the dividend, so announcing the dividend, and also the equity capital raise. So in general, they've done all of them with exception of the buyback of up to $5 million of HCMC common stock, because based on their recent earnings, they haven't done anything. And again, I think that's one of the big things that people have been watching about. So maybe it's kind of factored into that 71,000 to 1 ratio. Maybe that's already incorporated. I'm not sure, but it does say right here of up to. So potentially they could do, I guess, $1 and that would still qualify. Maybe, I'm not really sure. But again, it is what it is. I think bigger picture, this is exciting stuff because a lot of investors are very excited about these assets. So the grocery chain and the wellness center. So they are very excited for HCWC. On the contrary though, I actually do like HCMC. So I do like the intellectual property, the vitamin store, qcup, and the vape store as well. So I actually got in because of that. But in all honesty, because of this ratio of what is going to be happening and this recent news, so the 71,000 to 1 ratio is basically going to liquidate almost every benefit of HCMC. And that most likely on May the 1st, 2023, you're going to see HCMC go down to that 6-digit number. So 0.00001 or quad 6 or whatever it is. You guys get what I'm saying. So unfortunately, as of May the 1st, it's just going to liquidate any and all benefit of owning HCMC, because in general, going back over here, a lot of these things are kind of non-existent. The whole intellectual property, the vitamin store I do believe is still functioning, but the qcup vape store are very much closed and ceased intellectual properties. Even though they could have probably sold some of it and made some money, they haven't and won't be doing any of that. So in general, there isn't really any benefit to own HCMC. So like I said, at the end of the day, you're going to still own 2 physical shares if you qualify for this. You'll have your existing HCMC shares and also HCWC. But once again, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. I think generally, even though it's kind of crappy about the whole HCMC, because I'm kind of going to miss HCMC in reality, but I think this is going to be bigger and better things, and hopefully based on their plan is going to actually increase shareholder value at the end of the day. I could be wrong, like I mentioned, but when it comes down to it, let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, even though HCMC cannot be bought on this broker, but it's a good promo, all you have to do, click on the link in the description below or also the comments, sign up for a free account and you get 1 free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So even if you just do that, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like I said, link in the description below and also the comments. If you want to throw $100 at the account as well, you do get additional 4 free stocks. This whole broker as well, $0 commission and free level 2. So kind of a no-brainer. But let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. And with all that said, let's all make a lot of money on HCMC or HCWC, whatever floats your boat.